So, as some of you already know, I've had many angel experiences to the point where I'm going to build a playlist of angel experiences. Make sure to also check out all our playlists because very different topics and it's all organized that way. Anyway, I'm going to share a recent angel experience today, as well as a very powerful thing and aspect about dreams you're going to want to know. That is a very divine connection and very interesting as well. Welcome to Soul Spa University, where your souls can run free and your minds are free to expand. Today's episode, I'm hoping, awakens and broadens your horizons even further to live in the true magic that is now. But first, please don't forget to subscribe to be a part of my family, um, like, so that you can support my content to you, share to help keep the channel alive, and always stay tuned so that if you want to hit that notification bell to always know the news that they're not telling you. Also, gentle reminder that if anyone needs my services, please Instagram me. It's Soul Spa University. Instagram message me. I'm more likely to see that than my email. Gmail has us delete 40,000 emails all the time to even keep it. So, but if you have to resort to that, is soulspauniversity@gmail.com. And yeah, if anyone needs a session, I do give divine information. It's not just little old me, and I've been a manifestation coach for over 18 years. However, that's expanded into giving hope, very divine hope, and having you expand into the new relationship with anyone you've lost, quote unquote. But know that relationship continues. They're with you. Also, if anyone needs any angel connects or contacts, they're right there with you. You just got to awaken to it. I teach you how to become your own medium. Also, healing also happens. I don't claim to be a healer. I am not a doctor. It happens to happen a lot in sessions, very instantaneously. And I credit you for that, to be honest. So sometimes you just need a little guidance there, you know? I believe in the mind-body connection, and I believe you can be whatever you want, whenever you want, and do whatever you want, whenever you want. And sometimes you just need a conduit, you may think, and I am that for you. I also do many other things, so check out my service in the description box. Also, I'm pretty much a energy coach, so anyone that needs a new beginnings or anything, any help with anything, I'm there for you. Also, donation link in the description box in case anyone gets anything out of this. It's really just great to know that someone somewhere is listening. I hope this message finds you well, and I hope this uplifts you. Okay, so what to get into first? There's something very important about dreams you need to know, that is just amazing, like beyond what you think it is. Trust me. As well as angels. Angels are all around you all the time. They come to me all the time. If you want them right now, they're right there with you. This is great. You always have a friend. You're never alone. If you ever want to reach a loved one that is passed on, they are right there with you. A lot of times they will connect to you through dreams, which is really amazing. But also another amazing thing about dreams, should I get into it now? Should I get into it now? Or do I talk about the angel thing first? I'm going to get into the dream thing now. Basically, dreams. Yeah, sometimes loved ones will come to you in dreams. And what happened with me once, I probably already told this story, so I'm not going to do it again. So look under angel experiences playlist. I should have it at this point. But basically, just to sum up, I dreamt of someone that passed on who was very close with me, kind of like a dad. He passed on, passed on from cancer. And I was going through, so I had a dream. I was in his arms, just crying hysterically on the floor of my then bedroom. And and he was like sitting cross-legged, and I was like just crying hysterically into his arms. So the next day, just to sum this up, because it's a very vivid feeling story, and I'm just going to sum it up to get to the next thing. I had an unexpected breakup, and I found myself in that exact place, totally not realizing it's the same place I was in the dream on the floor, crying hysterically. And it later, and I was clutching a rosary bead. Anyway, it later occurred to me he was holding me during that time. So there's a lot of precognitive dreams I've had, but that was especially divine because it showed me an angel connect where they're holding you without you realizing it. There's no reason for me to have woke up crying from a dream. Um, you know, he doesn't saying anything sad to me. You know what I mean? In the dream to make me cry. Why was I crying in his arms? Why was it in that exact spot? And then that next day, unexpected breakup, I'm crying hysterically in that exact spot. It's his way of showing me I'm with you, I'm holding you. Not only was it precognitive, but it's also an amazing blossom of divinity of knowledge. And I feel that's how they always communicate. It's never just one thing. If you really look, it's always a flower of amazing interconnected petals that are just beautiful with energy. A lot of answers. Another interesting thing about dreams. Okay, I'll give you another angel dream lately. So precognitive a little. So a few weeks ago, I was the closest to a very shattering experience I've been in a while. Been through a lot lately, as anybody else has, but this was messing with my belief systems. And the night, okay, so the night prior. So basically, I had a dream of an aunt of mine that didn't treat me very nicely, but she passed on, as we put it, and people's angel selves are amazing. The one way she communicates to me is through a song called I Hope You Dance. She happened to be a ballroom dancer. She happened to have an entire ballroom in her house. And I lived with her for about a year, maybe a year and a half. Um, and the point is that since she passed, she's been more loving than she's ever been in real life. So if you ever had any issues with people on earth and they pass on, know that they're in the fullness of who they really are. And they're not in a limited role anymore in this play we call life. So it's amazing. It's just amazing. So the one way she communicates with me that I can know is through that song, I Hope You Dance. It's just her essence. It is so her essence. And every time I hear that song, I get a different message, depending on where I am in life and what I need to hear. I tell you this because I woke up crying a few weeks ago. She was in a dream with me, and she said, "You could have been more." And I woke up crying because, that's exhausting. And, maybe she meant it in a good way. Or maybe some dreams are not divine connections, but how we're interpreting it or our subconscious or things like that, right? A dream can be a tree of many things, one of which is going to be very fascinating that I'm going to tell you soon. But I woke up crying because of it. Sorry, I have a sudden pain in my rib from saying that. Anyway, so whatever. I thought, who has time for this? And then I started scrolling through pictures of where I want to move to because I was told to have a picture of it where I live now. So I was scrolling through, seeing if there's any that are cheap and affordable. All of it were pictures of this specific place. Out of nowhere, one was a young girl, blonde, and I was blonde when I was younger. Kind of on a beach, like going with the seagulls towards the water, which is funny because I love the beach. I used to be friends with the seagulls, always alone, as a kid. And it was lyrics. And when I read the lyrics, there were a certain part of the song, I hope you dance. Right after I woke up from this dream, there were no other pictures in this search I did of anything other than the exact place I'm trying to move to. And yet, what comes up without searching for it? A picture of the lyrics to the one song that lady I dreamt about communicated me with. So once I read that lyrics, I was like, oh my God, wow. Not only that, see, this is what I mean. There'll be times where you realize this is real. And those are going to be the moments that are eternal gems for you here. Every moment we're going through is actually eternal gems once we quote unquote cross over, because we got so much from it, you have no idea. But it's great to feel it here. These are the moments that I feel the light comes in of the truth. You feel it here, right? So the lyric was about faith. And I just was rereading it over and over and over because I don't remember this exact lyric. I heard all the lyrics a million times in my car. I don't remember this way. So I'm like, is this a Mandela effect? And I was kind of hung up on the part that said faith, which was the biggest part of the picture. It was like in all capitals. And so anyway, later that day, everything was very shaken up in my world in a meeting, Course in Miracles meeting, actually, where I was kind of told that their interpretation of it, but they told me it was a book. And they meant nothing but good. So I love them. But basically, I understand that in that belief system, this is an illusion. I'm good with that. They also said the angels are part of the illusion, and also anyone that passed over, and that we're all an illusion. Rah, rah. And what I always knew to be true is that angels are not an illusion. They're realer than us. So are people that are passed on. They're realer than us. And so is heaven, right? Realer than us. That's like the truth. That's why I pass it on to you guys in my NDE playlist and all that stuff, right? So this was earth shattering for many reasons on many levels. And I was shaking by the time my partner woke up. And as some of you already know, my partner is very normal. We don't soar the seas in these kind of topics. That's why I love having people on the channel that I can go there with. And he's great. He's amazing. He balances me out. The reason I mention that he's very normal is because of what he ends up saying to console me. I was kind of inconsolable, even though I really wanted. I was really praying for help in every way. So I was trying to take whatever I could from what people were saying, but it was hard because I got my dad's brain that goes far. Like it goes, he was a history philosophy professor at St. John's for graduate students, literally wrote a book they were required to buy, textbook. And, I didn't think we were related till I heard the word philosophy, but my brain goes there. You know what I'm saying? It wants to go very far. It wants to get it. It doesn't need to drink something or smoke something to talk about these things. It goes there anyway. I want to know. I want to exercise my brain that way, right? So I couldn't let this go. I needed to know, and basically I was shooken up. It's like, is this true? Can I not? I couldn't unhear it. My partner finally says to me, have faith, which is so not like him. Okay. So this was channeled. People are also angels for you. They will channel divine information, either from their higher selves or whatever, but for you to hear. So he said, have faith. And all of a sudden, it just showed up in my mind, that picture I saw this morning. And the biggest word in it from the lyrics was faith. And right when he said that, I was like, that's what she was showing me. She made sure I had a dream of her to come through in this lyric, because if I saw this any other day, I would think, oh, I guess she's saying hi. But because I just had a dream of her and was crying about it, that was weird. Then it's like, now I'm really paying attention to this picture because I just had a dream of her. Then it's this lyric that it's her favorite song. I never mentioned anything about her for my phone to know. I didn't even write her name, nothing. And that was the one line that was in the picture of a little blonde girl that looked just like me. And I read it and it was like, give faith a fighting chance. And I feel like, again, they communicate in a blossoming of information. Not only are they saying, give your faith a fighting chance, your faith inside of you, but in that same message, as they always divinely, synchronistically, divinely orchestratingly, gorgeously do musically, okay? Literally musically in this case. I have chills as I say they confirm their existence, because give faith a fighting chance, faith in them. Not only are they giving me that message, give your faith in them a fighting chance. Well, guess who's saying it? It's them. So how many more verifications do you need? And if you look closely, you'll find so many other messages in it. So it is just beyond amazing. Now, the other thing, gorgeous thing I could tell you about dreams, and I've had many other angel experiences. This is just the most recent. Also, everything was confirmed in a reading that week, that someone's with you trying to communicate with you and all this stuff. So it was just very on point and amazing, just amazing. So I've had many other angel experiences, and you could check out my playlist as I continue to post about those, but also an amazing thing about dreams is this. Okay, so I have a friend, she happens to be 70. She vents to me about her son, who on Earth, people will perceive that he has limitations, right? And so she vents to me a lot about that, right? And I'm always just there for her. Like, my priority is her. That's who I know. And what's interesting is so this is what's interesting. This is a dream link. So out of nowhere, one night, I had a dream, and in it, I'm not going to get into too much detail for the sake of your time, but in it, I was over something. I was just over something. And somebody that I was already trying to settle things with, I don't know if it was from high school, but was passing by, but I was just over trying to settle things with them. I was like, okay, like I did everything I could. I'm not going to put myself out there anymore. And across from me in the booth, as if this was a diner or a Friendlies or something, was this man that had like blondish brown hair, gorgeous, like greenish blue eyes, right? And I remember I never seen someone so vividly in my dream before, especially someone that I didn't know. So in the reality that we know of, which is right here, say, right? I don't know that man. But in the dream I did, right? In the dream, it was just somebody that I must have known, like a coworker. It felt like a coworker, like somebody I was familiar with in that kind of way, a good friend that I'm connected to, right? Like, and as the people were passing by, that I did everything already about. He was being a good, energetic person towards them, like the way I would normally be, and very, dreams don't make sense. So very like sweet and kind of kowtowing to them and making sure they felt okay as they passed by, which is normally what my energy would do for people. But I was over it, so I was exhausted. So he was doing that for me, and I thought, that is gorgeous, because I'm tired. So good. Thank God. And I just kept eating my soup and just was exhausted and tired, and thank God he had it, kind of thing. And so here's what's interesting. So I remembered him when I woke up in the morning, didn't think much of it. My friend and I walk our dogs together. We're in the same building, and she's like, oh, my son is I just need to give him some money. He happens to be like 25. He was driving. He was parked outside about the meter. And this is the son that she always, vents to me about the way he is and how he is, or how the world perceives him, and especially people that, know him on a regular basis. So, I try to stay out of the way. I'm like, oh, do you want privacy? No, no, you can come. So I still try to stay out of the way as they interacted. Well, he saw me and my dog, and he's like, hey, can I come out and pet Muffin? I said, of course. And as he came out, it was the man in my dream. And in a weird way, I felt truth. I felt as if I know him the same way I knew him in my dream, as if I see the beauty in him and all he is. And it was like a breaking character moment, is what I call it. Like, other people may see him in his limited role that he signed up to be here. And for whatever reason, that teaches everyone else around him things that they gain from it. And he gains from his interaction here as that limited role. But I saw a multitude of things. Not only did I see it felt like the higher self in him is the only way I could explain it, but who he truly is, his magnificence, his wisdom, his I know what he's doing here kind of thing. But I also, on a human level, understood my friend all the more. You know, my friend is his mom. And on a human level, I got it. I got it. All of a sudden, I feel maternally like loving and protective towards this person as well. Like, let's look out for him. Even though on a spiritual level, I knew this was just to teach us all things and he's doing it and whatever, but I also understood her heart in a way that, like, I always cognitively understood it and understood her, like, from my empathness, but I never got it as deeply as I got it at that moment where it's like, oh, of course, of course, of course, you know, um, because my priority up until that point was her. So it's just amazing. And she'll continue to vent about him. And I just see him as this shining light, like he knows what he's doing, you know? And it's so funny because that happens sometimes with people. And A Course in Miracles actually teaches, I realize, to do that, to see people for the divinity of who they truly are, who they really are. Despite what limitations you might be perceiving in them, despite if you're in an argument, despite whatever is happening, even if they're sick, always see them as the entire totality of who they truly are, well, whole, wise. So I also feel that dreams sometimes are a way to break character for us. I always thought, if we're working on Earth from, I don't know, 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. or something, we're never going home for 67 years, for 80 something years, for 90 something years. We're never going home. I think not. I think there's levels in dreams. I think there's levels in sleeping. I think there's a million blossoming of benefits in sleeping, for the brain, for the spirit, for your energy, for your body. But I also feel it's a way that angels can reach you, your loved ones can reach you halfway. And it's a way to break character. It's a way that you meet people on the astral. And I feel that maybe we do go home every night if we want. I'm not saying we die. There is no death anyway. But maybe we visit home for a second and kind of plan, where do we want to go next, with who, and there's a group of us. And I always felt when I experienced deja vu, because I can go further into it when I experience it, like, what is this? And I feel what deja vu is, at least for me, what it feels like, is that I went home for a second and I was planning with this person, okay, so you're going to be my boss. It may have been 6 months prior. and we're gonna be sitting here, and you're gonna be my boss. We're gonna be like this, and these are the lessons. That's what I felt deja vu is. Whenever I have a deja vu, it's like almost like that moment where it all aligns for a second, where I was planning this out with somebody up there, with groups of people up there, where they were planning it out with me or telling me, you're going to be working for me, blah, blah, blah. And we kind of saw a scene or zeroed in on that or was looking at that together. And all of a sudden it all aligned, you know what I mean? Where maybe it was a point of choice. Deja vu could also possibly be, if we're constantly shifting out in and out of different realities, a point where you're shifting and you're actually conscious of it. And you're like, oh, I don't know. Maybe two realities could overlap at once. These are deja vu theories that I've come up with. What do you guys think? Also, interesting dream connect is last night. This is an angel and dream connect. Okay, so last one, and then I'm going to wrap up. Last night, I'm not getting it into the totality of the dream because I want to save your time. But basically, I was in the dream looking for my keys in the car, couldn't get out of the situation until I found my keys to start the car and leave. I don't know how much time passed before I could find these keys. I could not find the keys in the car. Finally, when I grew so tired of it, almost felt like I was drunk in the dream, just dizzying, totally overcome by circumstance and emotions and whatever, that I was almost going in circles, the way we try to mentally figure things out on earth, and that plays into it. Okay. Finally, I got tired. I got tired and exhausted. And I remembered, oh, I could go to the angels if I want. And I said, like I would in real life, angels, where are the keys? Can you just show me where the keys are? And then I was guided towards the spot between the seat and the center console, where it's like almost all of a sudden I had a memory. I could access a memory where, of course, it's probably there. And I got it. And I thought, it worked. The same way I feel in real, quote unquote, real life. Whenever I can't find anything ever, I always ask the angels, please show me where this is. And I'm always shown. And every time I'm like this is after I've been trying to look for so long by myself. With the Course in Miracles, what I started doing is going, for me, straight to God and Jesus instantly. Usually with the angels, it seems instant, but this is even more so. You don't know how instant it could be until you go to God and Jesus. Anyway, and trust me, everyone's welcome to my channel. If you're Jewish, people are Jewish in A Course in Miracles, or any belief system you are, A Course in Miracles welcomes you. And this is a channel for you to explore your mind and your soul and your heart. So everyone's welcome. So anyway, so I thought, even in dreams, angels help. And according to A Course in Miracles and many beliefs, we are in a dream right now. So when we need them, instead of making ourselves dizzy trying to mentally figure something out ourselves and getting overcome with circumstances and this and that, just go in, go up, go to God, go to the angels, let them help you when you're ready. They're always there for you, including, quote unquote, in dreams, but also in this dream. I'm going to leave you with a little joke. My partner made a funny joke the other day, which is something I would have normally done as well. And it was, I always talk about angels. And finally he said, I wonder how it works. I wonder, because I said there's an angel for everything. I said, and he's like, I wonder if when you first start out as an angel, if you're like stuck being the parking lot angel or the hat angel, and you're just sitting there in an empty cubicle in an empty building, an empty office, and it's just one picture. I pictured like one picture of a top hat, and he's just like waiting for the phone. Anyway, normally I would have made some humor like that, but he did it and it was great. I wanted to share it with you. All right, guys, I'm going to run for now. I hope you got something out of this. If you need any help, my info is in the description box. If anyone wants to donate, that would illuminate me from the inside out. It's just good to know that someone somewhere is listening, if you got anything out of this at all. And please make sure to stay tuned for next time. And always, and most importantly out of everything, make room for miracles. Love you guys.